but I don't see anything alarmist to me. I see that we've got proper coverage, and the thin set obviously was adhered to the tile because it didn't pop up with the greatest of ease, as you can see. And it does
It's
not.
certainly bonded to the membrane, and you know, and the membrane is stuck sufficiently to the slab. So, and I understand everybody's concern. I mean, I really do. I see it all the time. You know, when you hear that sound, you think the work. You know, I understand that. But that's, you know, we run into it all the time, and this is what we have to go through. You know, to prove that it's not the same issue. Which, you know, it's fine.
First time I had to do this was like 10 years ago at the water garden in a high rise, because with this crack suppressant underlayment, it's also soundproofing. So it redirects the sound up, so you don't want, you know, it doesn't redirect it down for your neighbors, obviously.
It's a great product. I mean, it really is. I mean,
And the reason why you put it down the freezer is it'll allow, when as a home shifts and settles, it'll allow that movement so you don't end up with a big stress crack going through. It was thin set it directly to the slab and you have that. The membrane allows the movement even though you don't see it or feel it. If you didn't have it, it was thin set it directly, and then there was an issue, then you'd have a nice little crack, or the tile would crack or break, and then you'd have to replace it.
How long ago did you guys start using this membrane?
we've been using it for well over 10 years, long before I ever worked ahead. So, and what we do also, just, you know, for ease of mind also, the manufacturer of the membrane, we use their thin set also. And we use what's called Ultraflex thin set, which is the very best thin set money can buy. So we use the premium thin set, and it's from the same company, so we don't have, if we had some kind of a problem, they're both the same family.
Okay.
You know,
So, all right, so I had the camera off and thought I was sitting before it was on photo something. So basically, can you, from a tech standpoint, just give us a quick summary of what you did and what you found?
Well, what I did was I cut out of the grout lines on the tile that's to be observed. I popped out the tile and I see no difference in that than I do in any other tile that I repair on a daily basis where the membrane is installed first. I gathered that you guys were worried about the sound, but in 28 years of doing this, in the last 10 years putting down the membrane, I've never heard it sound different. It'll always sound the same as long as the membrane is underneath it.
it's just a characteristic of the product.
People will call saying it sounds a little, you know, loose or hollow or whatever word they might want to use, but once it's explained to them, they usually understand that we put that there to protect from cracking underneath.
Okay, so why did it stick to some areas of the membrane better than others?
Well, once again, it was all totally stuck the same way. When you go to take it out, it's going to come out however, in other words, if his hammer was directed in a certain direction, it's probably going to have more stress on that spot than it would over here. So it's really, it's kind of an illusion to think that one came out, you know, the tile was difficult to get out, period. You know, it was not, you know, you would know right away if we came to take this tile out, that, you know, if it was not bonded, if you had some kind of an issue, it would have come right out of it, you know. I was pretty sure this is what I would see, but that's why we did this, to make sure that you were okay.
Here's a primer.
So this brown.
Yeah, this is residue from the primer, and it sticks to the bottom of this. So when you pull it up, it basically breaks the bond between this and the concrete, right? You know.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
See, if it didn't have primer, you'd have this as a gray color.
What you do in some areas.
Well, that's
See, like
just
you
because.
see, I
that's
see the, you know,
because-
gray area here. I mean, is this supposed to be
Sort of absorbs
uniform?
into the
Yeah,
slab.
but-
It's not gonna absorb at the same rate in every square inch of the, where the membrane set.
But does this have anything to do with why it sounds hollow in some areas? Like I'm looking
No,
here.
no, but what it is that that you probably have a slightly more dense little area in the concrete in there, and that's why it laid up on the top. In an area that might be a tiny bit more porous, it's, you know, it's gonna absorb right in.
I don't know, man. I used to build homes a long time ago. I worked for Centex.
Okay. Well, then, Syntex used Proflex for years, so I'm sure you're completely familiar with that.
That was
Yeah,
a
the
long
same
time
issue.
ago. All right. Oh boy. All right. So where do we go from here, Steve?
We're gonna put the tile back, and from what we see, it was installed correctly, so there's nothing to warranty here. You know, if the new buyers don't like this floor and want a new floor, it'll be up to them to work that out with Mr. Faw. But Mr. Faw should be completely off the hook because there is no installation issue here with the tile, from what I see from this. It would become the new buyer's responsibility if they indeed want a new floor.
Okay. Are you willing to extend the warranty on the tile, given that you think it's installed properly? Are you willing to extend?
We don't have, when it's installed, we have proof that it's installed properly.
I have proof there. The only warranty that's going to transfer to the new buyer is the remainder of the 10-year structural warranty for the foundation slab and load-bearing members of the home. Plus, if there's any remainder of the 3-year compliance warranty, which I believe there is, that also will transfer, so they have that. But as far as any warranties for installation and workmanship, that time has come and gone, and that doesn't pass on to the new home buyer. Cosmetic stuff and whatnot.
What color grout did you use on this? Buff?
Pale umber.
Pale umbro?
Pale umber.
What is it?
Pale umber.
Pale umber. UMBR. UMBER.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Now, the grout we put in here is gonna be brand new, you know that.
Yeah, that's why I told Tim
Yeah.
it's not going to be an exact match. It's going to be darker, lighter, whichever the case is, obviously.
This is a different dye lot.
Well, it's just because it's old, this has existed, it's been here for a long time.
People walking through, etc. As you know, the high traffic areas are dark with your ground will darken over time.
Okay.